Hello folks, welcome back to my garden. This is my second video, part 2 of the Spring 2024 series. I'm going to retake where I left off. My name is Mariano Alvarez. I'm in Atlanta, Zone 8, and I collect maples, among other things. So this is where we left off, right here with this beautiful Akachi Nishiki. Continuing on, I have this red, super red. It's a Chichio or Chichio improved. Some folks prefer to call it Chichio. It's very red right now. It's a great tree. Moving on, this is a very old cultivar, very well liked. It's called Sumi Nagashi. Has wonderful red leaves. Liking it a lot right now. This one is one that you don't see a lot, but I'm really liking it. It's Koyamadani Nishiki. It has this kind of like I'm not sure how to call it, but kind of like a snowflakey, or I don't know, it's very captivating. There's something about it that I really like. And the little touch of redness in the edges of the leaves looks wonderful. Kind of like serrated leaves, similar to like an Irene maybe. But yeah, beautiful tree. Moving on. This is Shoujo no Mai. Look at this pink. Pink all over with splashes of green. One of my first trees. And it never disappoints. Very cool tree. You can see everything is potted. Pots. But again, it's because of the lack of space that I have here that I work with what I got. This is emerald lace, finely dissected lace leaf maple. You can see this one grows all over the place. It's kind of a wild tree. You have one branch going this way, one branch going that way. And from what I hear, it's an extremely fast grower, very vigorous. But I do like the finely detailed leaves. Very cool. All right, moving along. This one is Hoshi Yadori, a batwing maple. I love when the new growth starts to show up. They look like creepy hands in a way, and then with time they're going to increase in size to become kind of like bat wings. All right, what do we have right here? I have a Sao Tome. Interesting. You see how the leaves are curved down. First spring with it. I kinda like it. I don't know what it is, but it's like the geometrical shape of the leaves, the angular shape. It's very neat. Let's see what it does later on. All right, and right here we have Ramona. Didn't know what to expect out of this. It was a little hyped, but I'm not seeing much of its appeal right now. If I can get it to focus here. Yeah, it's nice, but really nothing special. I don't know. If you see this, tell me what you like about it. Maybe I still need to see it. And I'm having a very hard time focusing, so let's put my hand and see what happens. Nope, still. Okay, there you go. Yeah. And that's Ramona for you. Moving along. Felice or Felice. I think it's Felice. I just went to Italy, so you would pronounce it Felice. Very cool little tree. Small, the one that I have. So gotta wait and see how it develops, but I really like it so far. And then finally on this display there's this gold coin. My gold coin had numerous accidents. A branch fell off, then it got super dry one season. I don't know, it's just a survivor, and it's just now leafing out. It's Azel Longips, I think it's called. Last year it gave me this wonderful yellow flower that I hope it repeats this year. Okay, and these little ones here. Nothing too special here. Mitsuba Yama. Yeah, very ordinary, I think. Not sure what it's all about. I guess that's why it's not so popular. Moving on, this is a green snowflake. Can see how the leaves are serrated, kind of looking like a snowflake. So small, yet has a few blooms already. Now here, if we keep moving, this one is called Killarney. Really like the color. How there's a little bit of yellow there in the red, the veining. Very neat. Okay, and to the right of it, it's Matsuyoi. Totally the opposite. One is very red, the other one is very yellow. Cool little tree, serrated leaves. And by the way, you hear some vehicles, motorcycles, cars. I'm in a very busy corner here in Atlanta, so there's a lot of traffic noise. Back to this guy. I'm really liking this Beni Ukigumo. So understated, but it's a wonderful tree. Okay, moving on. We have this Edgeworthia that just lost all of its flowers. It was a wonderful display, and the fragrance in the winter is fantastic. This is one of my favorite plants. I have 2 of them, so that's saying a lot. But if you don't have an Edgeworthia or paper bush, get it. Okay, what else do we have here? So right here we have spring plum. Another kind of like peachy, orangey type of tree. Don't know much about it. I like it so far. This one is a classic. It's a purple ghost, just leafing out. Again, very beautiful. All of the ghost series, all of the trees in the ghost series are wonderful. But yeah, my first season with it, lots of blooms, highly recommended. Okay, behind it there's a conifer called Snow, and the tips are gonna start whitening out or up. So it becomes very beautiful, and that's why it's called Snow. Back in here there's a nice little heuchera and another one of these that I can't remember the name. Very cool. Bunch of hostas popping up. Okay, and if I move here, you see a small little carnival. Very, very neat tree. It's Acer campestre carnival. All right, going back here. This is Mr. Sun. I would say if we want to make a joke, this is a sunrise because the sun is coming up. Very cool tree. The leaves are kind of thin when the leaf is all grown, and it does look like a sun, so hence the name. Another heuchera there. I have a bunch of heucheras. Really like the plant. So many different colors to add to your garden. Great textures as well. Now I'm gonna keep going, moving on here on this path. I got another heuchera here. This is like a dark maroon color. Have a bunch of holly ferns, Japanese holly ferns. This one is the one that is the most, or the happiest. You can see it's really liking it here. I love when the leaves unfurl. It's like spirals, just like all the other ferns, but this one is especially thick. This one hasn't leafed out yet, but it's about to. It's a Variegated Mount Airy. It gets wonderful fall colors and a nice little like cotton ball type of, or bottle brush type of white flower. And this one, this time of the year, I know I've said this a lot, but this is firefly, guys and girls. Firefly is fantastic. Look at the firefly there with the Japanese painted fern on the left. Love the combination. And when the sun hits it, gives this kind of like curly, wavy surface to the leaves and makes it look even more special. One of my favorites altogether. Now moving on, this ajuga is totally yellow, as you can see the foliage, but the blooms this time of the year are this wonderful blue, which contrasts very, very well with the leaves. And this is another Edgeworthia that I have, paper bush. If I go here, this is a leopard plant, one with the wavy edges. Can't remember the name, so bear with me. A steel bee here with a bunch of hostas, great companion plants to your Japanese maples. Another heuchera. And moving on here, this is a tiger rose. Really, really like this tree. What's not to like? It's so graceful now that there's a little bit of a breeze. Look at that. I mean, I could spend hours, and I do spend a lot of time here just watching and admiring these trees. Really, really pretty. One that is absolutely amazing, and unfortunately I cannot show it to you guys right now because obviously it hasn't leafed out, is green tea. Hopefully I'll do another one of these videos once it's all leafed out and you'll see what I'm talking about. Another heuchera there with cast iron plants, also another touch of color. This part used to be very yellow and chartreuse, and by adding heucheras and a couple of other things like the pods of the Japanese maples, the foliage of the Japanese maples, it kind of breaks that uniformity of the colors. So very cool stuff. This is a deciduous azalea. Can't remember the Japanese name, but it's one of those spidery looking azaleas. I have a larger one that is almost in full bloom that I will catch on a future video. This little guy right here is it Otos dissectum. It shines more so in the fall, but I really like its shape and structure. Have more cast iron plants there. If I keep going, another cast iron plant. Right behind the first Hydrangeas, I have this azalea, which is about to pop. I mean, there's a bloom all the way there, so you can see red blooms. Beautiful azalea, a must for companions to Japanese maples. This is the Variegated that I showed in the previous video. Bears Bridges, I think it is now. I remember that has those little red fruits. And this one is super cool. So this is a variegated form of that, which is a acanthus. That one is just a generic variety or the cultivar, and this is the white fall or something like that. It's just fantastic. It's really, really neat. I have a mountain laurel that it's surviving. It doesn't like it here in the Atlanta heat. It's much happier in the Appalachian Mountains, in North Carolina, North Georgia, in the higher altitudes, but it's surviving. Let's see how it does. Here I have this Bronze H. This is a fabulous cultivar. It's really pretty. You can see there's the red is in the outside and the veining is kind of this very bright chartreuse, which makes it exceptional. Moving on, I'm gonna go quick here, so bear with me as I move around. We're hitting the 17-minute mark. So that's, by the way, that's the bigger azalea of that Japanese azalea that I was telling you about. Extremely beautiful. I'm gonna cover this section on the next video, but for now I'm gonna keep going around the corner. I covered this on the first video. This is a black hole. Look at how red that is. And I love how I combine the black pot with the redness of the color. That's something to keep in mind when you pair Japanese maples with pots. Pick pots that have colors that will really make your combination of pot and maple or plant to stand out. This one here is called Sunny. First spring with it is typically yellow, one of the most yellow maples in the summer. So I didn't know that it would, the light is not the best, but I didn't know it would come out kind of like orange. And finally, this is my second year attempting to grow maples from seed. And I see like 3 or 4 seedlings popping up, so that's exciting. This little guy is looking fantastic. It's Hanafubuki. It's a small tree, but you can see it starts pink. Very cool. I have some dark ajuga here. Right next to the black hole is a tiny little, I think it's American or a troll. No, it's a troll ginkgo about to leaf out. This hosta is praying hands. That's just coming up. Can't remember this little guy's name, but it's this bluish grayish color that is fantastic. It's just popping up. It's a bunch of narcissus or daffodils that lost their flowers already. So this foliage is going to die, and it's gonna let these Rhodia japonicas that I have here shine. They're very cool. I compared them to hostas, but they're like evergreen. They're underutilized. So if you find Rhodia japonicas, I recommend them. I have the generic version on the right, and then this one that is variegated next to a painted fern, Japanese painted fern. You can see the variegation here is in the middle, the white stripes. And then this one, the variegation is more on the edge of each leaf. Very, very cool plant. Moving on, that's a very cool lantern rose hellebore. Like I said, I have a lot of them. And you can see new leaves growing there. More cast iron plants. And this guy here is, see if you can see it, it's Blackbeard's Gold. I was impressed with the fall colors. I mean, it's called Blackbeard's Gold for a reason. It was literally stunning. The gold colors in the fall were incredible. Not too bad right now with this kind of like pale maroon color. Very, very nice. I got another hellebores here. This one, you know, the challenge with hellebores, you have to go really low to see the actual flower in most of them. This tiny little one, it's a Feridus, or stinging hellebore, so it doesn't really stink, I don't think. I got a little one. This guy is a Daphne. It was in total bloom a couple of weeks ago, and the fragrance was wonderful. And there is one of my favorite perennials for the shade, a trillium that this year grew with a baby right on the right. Really like a trillium on your garden. This is an Indian summer, skinny and tall. Hasn't bloomed yet, but it's going to. It has like big leaves, like some of the other ones that I showed you. This is what squirrels do. They do that in every single pot. It's pretty annoying, but it's part of life. Can't blame them. This is yellow threads. Sort of like a cotonoito, but you can see it's so neat. It's very clean, a clean tree. The yellow all over, it's fabulous. It has such a nice structure. Look at that. Very, very nice. Okay, here's another hellebore. See, I'm a big fan, and a bunch of little hostas popping up there. More Japanese holy ferns. This is a Coreopteris, I think that's what it's called. It just lived out. And this is one of my favorite conifers. It's not icebreaker, but it's Horseman Silverlock. Here is more hostas everywhere, hosta. Then just to break this chartreuse color, I added this, as you can see, these flocks, which gives that bluish, purplish tint to the whole thing. Here's where I have bird feeder. Lots of birds in the feeder. This one is good for squirrels, actually called Squirrel Buster. It deters the squirrels, so it's kind of fun watching the squirrels try to outsmart it. They haven't done it yet. Right here is a leopard plant that it's very dark in color. It's just popping up. Moving on. This is a celebration. Look how beautiful that is. Celebrates the good times. Come on. All right, keep moving on. Another view of the whole thing, the jungle as I like to call it. You have to have a bird bath. It's fun to see the robins use it a lot, quite a bit. Another hostas. This is Utsusemi. Very interesting leaf. It's also another one that comes up with these leaves and then later on they thicken. Full of blooms. Hopefully I'm gonna get some seed now that I was able to germinate a couple of them. Moving on here, this is the other side of that big Edgeworthia. It's windy, so you probably hear the little chimes that I have. Almost done here. Look at this white lava, I think it is. Not sure, don't remember. I didn't keep up with the names of each hosta as I did with the Japanese maples. So I don't remember the names of the varieties, but that one has that white variegation. This is probably my favorite hosta, or one of them. Another, this was the first lantern rose that I got, and how can you not like it? It keeps changing the color of the flowers. Next one is Hime Shoujo. I like this one because it's mostly in the shade, and here in the south it still manages to keep this red color, which again it's great so that it can change up the colors of the chartreuses and the yellows and the greens that you see mostly in shade gardens. Right under it there's this leopard plant called Firefly. So I got the Firefly Japanese maple there and the Firefly Farfugium or leopard plant right there. I like it so much that I have 3 of them. This one is a big daddy of the 3. It's wow. You can tell that I like variegation on my plants. This one is, it looks like from a different planet. The new leaf this year came full of different spots. And right in front of it, there's this jasmine red maple that it also manages to keep the red color pretty nicely. Continuing to the left here, this is a ruby slippers dwarf oak leaf hydrangea, which in the summer gives me this it's kind of like, I think it starts white if I remember correctly, the panicles on the flowers, and then it turns into red as the summer progresses. Really like this feature of these hydrangeas of the peeling bark. So that's additional interest for the winter time. I have another heuchera here, another lantern rose, a little fern here, my 3rd firefly, lots of hostas popping up. And then this guy is fantastic. Pieris, or Japanese Andromeda, I think it's also referred to as. The new growth is that very cool red. And it hasn't flowered much this year for some reason, but the flowers look like little bells, very similar to what a blueberry flower is. Very interesting bush, has gotten quite big already. All right, this is the Elizabeth. That's my little bench with a Westie dog in honor of our dog, the Una the dog. You can see a nice panorama of the whole garden. And this is another hydrangea. This is a lace cap hydrangea. Moving on, about to be done here. This is I have a fatsia there that we propagated, and a cuba, and this is a leatherleaf mahonia. So can get invasive, but you know, if you keep it under control, it should be fine. I think birds really like those fruits, and they spread them all over, and they basically volunteer from there. Let me keep going here. This is ukigumo. Here in the south, it doesn't really show much variegation. It's about to fully open. I'm sorry for the focus, but you can see there's some variegation showing, but it doesn't last long here. I've seen on the West Coast, folks are able to grow this, and it's like amazingly white. But hey, we're here in the East. Gotta work with what we got. This tall guy here, it's a, let me remember what it is. It's a shiro. Don't know much about shiro. So I got a large 1 gallon shiro here, and I put it up. I don't see much differentiation, but maybe it's a fall type of situation for that maple. This is a clethra. I think it's summer sweet. Clethra is just now showing some foliage. It's very slow to come up. And then finally, to finish this video, this is a first ghost. This is pot area or potting area, like, you know, everybody has a pot area, so this is one of mine. So forgive me about the background, but this is a first ghost. Not showing its full potential yet, but it will, pretty sure, by tomorrow, if not the day after. Anyways, hope I didn't bore you again. This video was a little longer. So I'll see you on the third part. Take care.